You know, speaking of, I have no way to transition from Meltzerizing your credit score into Mickie James's trash bag, but let's talk about this for a second. What? they sent Mickie James her back, some they had of hers, in a hefty trash bag. And I mean, I have wrapped clothes to my mother-in-law in a hefty trash bag before and put them in a box, but not to a recently fired employee. That seems just a touch like wiping your feet on somebody, doesn't it?
It does seem a bit harsh.
A bit harsh.
I mean, it was when you say a trash bag, I mean, they are black garbage bags.
Yes.
I mean, it is pretty shocking that this is how WWE deals with their employees or former employees.
Well, and here's the thing, and apparently Mark Carrano's taking the heat for this. People have heard that name. He's been the head guy under Triple H in talent relations over the last, I don't know how many years. But first off, I don't honestly know what they had of hers. I guess now, especially with the girls, they have different outfits and so many costumes and things. And it's, I guess now that they're such a big company, they keep some things, especially since they're only doing TV tapings instead of back in my day, you brought all your shit and you left with your shit. I mean, Vader used to get all kinds of heat for asking him to keep a set of dumbbells on the ring truck so he could work out his shoulder or whatever, right? And they're like, what the fuck? Are we a moving company? I guess now they're big and they keep some of the people's gear or jackets or robes or whatever the case. But in this case, they call her up and fire her, and then they send her shit back to her in a garbage bag. Fuck. And so then immediately when she tweets the picture of it and tells the story, Triple H and Stephanie and several other people apologized on Twitter and said the person responsible for this has been fired. And then we come to find out, I got to be honest with you, I'm smelling shenanigans here. Maybe this was great timing, but do you fire the guy that's been the head of talent relations, at least under Triple H? And I don't know what he's doing since they brought Laurinaitis in last year or whatever. But he's been there for 10, 15 years, and they've fired a couple of other people in the talent relations department. They've demoted a couple of the guys. Rudy Charles, the referee, apparently was working in talent relations. Now he's going back to, and another guy's going back to just being a referee. Brian, I'm asking you as a cynical, corporate-minded fucker, is this just, oh yeah, we're firing the guy that sent the garbage bag, or was this already going to happen? Because Nick Khan's been firing people. They're changing things around. Laurinaitis is back in charge of talent relations. They're bringing the entire first crew of the Titanic back. So did they fire Mark Carrano for the garbage bag incident, or was this just a great way to, we're fucking firing this guy, and he was already on the way out the door anyway?
Well, typically when you have a change of executives or department heads, there usually is a shift in who's working in those divisions. Everyone has their favorites. Everyone has their people they hire. So you'd have to think just maybe in general, Mark Carrano's job would be in jeopardy. However, doing this and thinking you're going to get away with this is crazy because he sent it to Mickie James, who's pretty active on social media. She tweets it out. Like you said, what she tweeted out was, "Dear Vince McMahon, I'm not sure if you're aware, I did receive my WWE care package today. Thank you. Hashtag always blessed and grateful. Hashtag women's wrestling matters." But I mean, the fact that this guy would just do that, and if someone said, hey, why did you send all the stuff she left behind? We like her. Why did you send her stuff in a garbage bag? What excuse do you have?
Well, in all honesty, I guarantee you that if he's even the one who actually packed the box, who knows? He's probably like, well, I got to wrap this stuff up so in case the box gets wet or whatever. He's not it unless he had some issue with Mickie James that I'm not aware of, and that'd be between them. I think he probably just, well, let's put it this way. If she hadn't been fired, if she'd have just called and said, hey, can you send my shit back? She wouldn't even taken a picture. because, okay, it's a bunch of wrestling gear wrapped in a fucking hefty bag in a box. But the great meaning that's put behind it once somebody's fired. And then, by the way, here's your shit in a garbage bag. That's fucking classic. And I don't know whether Mark Carrano even thought of that or not. But what I'm saying is, not that he should not have been dressed down for something like that, but I don't believe that they fired him and demoted or got rid of demoted two of the referees that were in the department and got rid of another woman that was working in the department, changed somebody else out just because Mickie James got a garbage bag. I think she gave them a gift that they could say, oh, well, look what we're doing.
Well, the Stephanie and Triple H pounced on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing. She doesn't work there anymore. She puts this tweet out. Stephanie replies, I am embarrassed you or anyone else would be treated this way. I apologize personally and on behalf of WWE. The person responsible is no longer with our company. And then right away, Triple H also. Upon learning of the disrespectful treatment some of our recently released talent received on behalf of the company, we took immediate action. The person responsible for this inconsiderate action has been fired and is no longer with WWE. For the record, Mickey's still fired, but so is the guy who sent her the trash bag.
Well, yes, but they should do things like that. Somebody in talent relations that would send somebody their gear after they've just been fired in a trash bag should be fired. Somebody that would send somebody a termination on their wedding day, why, they should be. Oh, I forgot. That would be the guy that just fired the other guy. But anyway, but here's the thing about Mark Carrano. I didn't see in my dealings with him a person that would disrespect even like, yeah, we've been waiting for a chance to get so-and-so. He didn't seem like that kind of person. I mean, he's been around the company for years and years, and I'm pretty sure he was in a lower level position during some point in time I was in OVW. But my dealings with him were around the 2017 Hall of Fame. He's the one that called me originally. And as a matter of fact, I remember it was New Year's. It was the week between Christmas and New Year's 2016. Because I remember it might have been New Year's weekend, if that was a weekend or whatever that year. But all of a sudden I get a call like 2 days before New Year's, WWF number, and the message from Mark Carrano, have something I want to discuss. So I called him back, and he told me the idea, said he was calling on behalf of Paul, as the young folks call him. And so I said, I doubt very seriously this is going to be the uppermost topic on everybody's mind over New Year's weekend. So now that you presented this idea to me, let me think about it, and I'll call you whatever the day after New Year's was. They were back in the office, probably January 2nd. And to induct the Rock and Roll Express. And then I called him back and wanted, or told him what I wanted and asked a couple more clarifying questions. And he said, let me get to Paul on that, and called me back, and everything's set. So he was dealing directly under Triple H for a lot of these things. But the point I was going to make about Mark Carrano is he was easy to work with on the phone. And I think I may have told you when we did a show at the time, for the couple of days, I went and did the pre-tape stuff one day, and then the Hall of Fame thing the next day. And was I over there at the hotel for a couple hours the night before? It was 2 or 3 days that I was involved with that. Mark Carrano almost groveled to me, and I mean, not in a ridiculous way, but he was always, "Are you okay? You need anything? You got this? You got that? What can I do for you?" He was. I wasn't treated that nicely when I worked there. When I was in the office in the car with Vince McMahon, people didn't fucking kowtow to me like that. And I'm just bopping in to do an induction. That's why I said it's better to visit than live there. They treat you like a guest, and then when you live there, they treat you like the fucking drunk uncle that lives in the spare bedroom. But so I don't see anything about Mark Carrano that would have been disrespectful, but who knows? I didn't have to put up with him on a regular basis. Maybe a bunch of the boys will contradict me on that, but that's just the fucking garbage bag. I got pissed off, and boy, I called, as a matter of fact, 2 of the people that got thrown in the box and told them how disappointed I was that they went along with that when they did this. They killed all the guys in the Spirit Squad and killed all their careers and put them in the box marked OVW back about, what was it, 2007-ish?
It's a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, I called a couple people that went in that box. I said, you couldn't have just fucking turned around and walked out? But I guess they couldn't, because they still actually wanted to be in the business.
You never told me that part before. You actually got so mad about that, you called up a couple of the actual members of the Spirit Squad?
Yeah, Mondo was one, because I love Mike Mondo, and what a guy he is, what a worker he was, what a talent he was, quality human being. I said, Mondo, I can't believe you went for that. Then I apologized to him later on. Oh yeah, that's why I
Who was the other one?
Probably Jeter.
You saw that Ken Doane just announced that he's retiring?
Yeah, and I wasn't aware that he hadn't before now. Actually, I saw that. I like Ken Doane, okay, but he was young and didn't understand when he was getting heat with some members of the locker room back in those days. But he's older now. But anyway, but yeah, it just. And as I was going to say, I don't remember what year it was, but I didn't. Well, that's when I just determined. It was probably 10 years before the Hall of Fame, because that's when I determined, fuck the WWF, fuck these motherfuckers. I took that as a grave insult after all fucking, not only all the talent that we had sent them, but all the shit we had put up from that office, and the fucking backstabbing and the fucking lack of preparation, and especially under Laurinaitis, the fucking, last minute on the spot changes of shit that's been announced, and just the overall unprofessionalism. But, yeah, it took about 10 years for me to get over that one. I was highly insulted. Anyway,